In the real world, your campus should be in the real world, not in a park. The Golden Gate University campus is in the heart of San Francisco, surrounded by technology giants, startups, global financial and law firms, plus local, state, and federal courts. Golden Gate University is located where a university for adult students should be located, at the center of a world-class city with a vibrant community of working professionals. Golden Gate University, education for your real world. In the real world, you learn more from successful professionals than from textbooks. Golden Gate University's instructors work at some of the Bay Area's largest and most successful organizations, putting theory into action every day. And they teach what they do, sharing real-world skills you can apply to your job today. Golden Gate University, education for your real world. In the real world, more than 40% of college and university students are adult students. And in the real world, adult students are different. In the real world, you have real commitments. In the real world, you need real-world skills you can apply to your job now. In the real world, you need transferable credits that count for something. In the real world, your work experience has value. In the real world, you learn more from successful professionals than from textbooks. In the real world, your campus should be in the real world, not in a park. In the real world, you need a network. In the real world, an education is your best investment. In the real world, you become the #1 college for adult students when you focus on adult students. Golden Gate University, education for your real world. In the real world, being part of a large network has real advantages. And Golden Gate University has more than 68,000 of those advantages. With an alumni network over 68,000 strong, Golden Gate University graduates are excelling in many of the Bay Area's most successful organizations in nearly every industry. Golden Gate University, education for your real world.
Next, we have inspiring videos to share with you featuring clips from our previous webinars where key officials from Golden Gate University and the University of the Cumberlands gave their inputs on their programs and operations. Let's start with the video of the University of the Cumberlands webinar last June 17th, which guested no less than the University Chancellor, Dr. Jerry Jackson, and Provost Dr. Trey Jarbo. Here's the video.
So sounds good. So here are just a few highlights, and some of these things Dr. Jackson had already mentioned. But you saw our campus, and we have about 2,000 students who are here, who are undergrad, living on campus and taking classes here in Kentucky. But online, we have a large online presence as well, and we share that with you all just to let you know that we're not new to online. We have a lot of online students, so we have the support network and those kinds of things put there to help you be successful. A lot of our students are first generation. So if you're not familiar with American college and how that works, we have a lot of students who are not that way, and they're successful as well. We're the third largest university in Kentucky. So we are the largest private institution in Kentucky. So that's just that we have around 21,000 students enrolled at the university. And we're a safe campus. And then also that last point is something that's very important if you're looking for an education. We'll talk more about it in a minute, but we are regionally accredited. And what that means is we have the highest level of accreditation that you can have in the United States. So our entire institution is accredited by SAC-COC, which is in the region that we are represented in. So that's something you always want to look for when you're looking for where to continue your education. So we'll go on and we'll talk a little bit about the specific programs that we're offering in this program. So for now, the programs that's kind of in demand and that you all would be interested in. If you're still looking for an undergrad degree, then we're offering bachelor's degrees with majors in both business administration and information technology. So now with the business administration, we do have other options for that. I mean, like pathways, I guess, would emphasis areas. So marketing, project management, and supply chain management. So there's various different flavors of that business administration. And then IT is the same way. We have gaming, computer science, and then we have more of a general just IT degree. So those would be options. We're offering the master's in business administration. So you see there that one's 31 to 37 credit hours. That's because you can do a concentration or you can do the general pathway as well. And then once you get your master's, or if you already have a master's, you can also pursue a PhD degree. And the two that we're offering there is a PhD in IT and a PhD in business administration. So I'm going pretty quick, but if you have questions, write those down and we can answer those later. But this is just a little bit more information about accreditation because, like I said, accreditation is what you're looking for, and what that means is you're getting quality. So that means someone from the outside is coming in and they're looking at our institution, reviewing all that we do, and saying, is it justified? Is it rigorous enough? Does it meet the standards that we have? And of course we do. And like I mentioned, we are regionally accredited, which is by SACS, the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. But also not just regionally accredited, we have another layer that most of our programs will go through, and they're programmatically accredited. So that's what the list that you see there on the left-hand side, that just lists some of them. And this all comes from our website. You can go to the website and look around and find other information. But it just shows that we value education and that we value the quality that you're getting. It's going to mean more when you go to a school that's accredited. If you go to a school that's accredited, then you try to transfer to another school, those credits are transferable. And whenever you get that diploma, it means more, right? It shows that we met a standard, and in the U.S., we're meeting the highest standard that an institution can meet. So like I mentioned earlier, after Casey gave his introduction, we really value the student success side and how we support students. And these are just some of the services that we offer. This is just a highlight. So we have what we call the Learning Commons. And all of these services that we offer, we make sure they're mirrored to our online population. So we offer free tutoring for students. You don't have to pay for it. We can set that up. And with our online format, we partner with other places where you can get a peer tutor, but also you can get 24/7 tutoring, because I know that your all time is a little different than ours, but we also have students that are around the world already. So we know how to work with those students. So we use tutor.com, and you can log in and get a tutor within minutes for essentially any subject that you need tutoring in, and that's free to you to use. We also have a career services that help students with job placement, resume building, those kinds of things that you're going to need once you finish your degree. We have the library, which is pictured there on the left, just one image from it that we've recently renovated. And you may think, well, the library's there in Winsburg. Well, that's correct. But also most of our books and articles, they're accessible online. So students who study completely online also have access to all of our library materials. And then student success, the team that Casey was talking about that he leads, we make sure that you get registered for classes, you register for the right classes. You get reminders about midterms and how to access your classes, how to order your books, just all of the things that may be a challenge for an online student. Student success makes sure that you can get through those hurdles without having any issues. So we'll go on and talk about, well, how is it structured, and how are the classes work? So here at Cumberlands, it'll be 100% online asynchronous, which means you will not have a set meeting time. So it's not going to be like 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. for you to log into your class. It'll be asynchronous online, and they're 8-week classes. So typically, if you're an undergrad student and you're taking, go ahead.
But I want to also add that our partners there with Dr. Bob are going to provide some synchronous tutoring sessions so that you will have support. Yes, our content is available 24/7, 7 days a week for you to work through, but our relationship with Dr. Bob and his team is going to provide you all some opportunity to come together in various locations. Correct, Dr. Bob? We'll pick
Yes,
up on
Dr.
that
J.
later, Trey, but yes. Sorry, go ahead, Dr. Bob.
Thank you for mentioning that, Dr. Jerry, because that is really part of the service that we would like to provide our students in Thailand and in the Philippines. Even in UAE, in the Middle East, we promise them that while classes are virtually, we have classrooms and tutors to actually assist them in their in learning the lessons.
So your content is available for University of the Cumberlands 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but you will have resources through Dr. Bob and his team. Go ahead, Dr. Jarbo, and continue about the structure of our semester. I just wanted them to rest assured they're going to have the added additional support.
Thank you. So yeah, like he was talking about, we do have that support, and here's how your program would be structured. Your classes run 8 weeks. So if you were an undergrad student taking a full course load, which would be 12 to 18 hours, you're not in all of those hours at the same time for a semester. So typically, say I've broken this down by the summer, and these are current dates. You would have maybe 2 classes in summer 1 and then 2 classes in summer 2. So as those 2 finish, the next 2 would start. So that they run 8 weeks, and it does go year round. Some students decide to take classes year round without a break. Well, the break that you would get would kind of be from this fall to the January term. It's kind of our longest break if you were to go without taking a break in classes. But some students take summers off. Some students take an 8-week off here and there. But if you do decide to go year round, you can do that. And of course, that if you're an undergrad student starting from scratch and needing 120 hours, you can finish in 3 years or less, really, if you do decide to go year round. So that would be one benefit to the way this program is structured, is you don't have to take the full 4 or more years, as some students in America do. In the online format, you can go quicker. In a graduate program, students typically finish in a year or less for a master's. And that's just one of the benefits. So then you get your degree and you can start working or working on another degree. So that's just a little brief overview of how the programs work. It's just another slide showing you part of the support network that you will have, and Casey will be that assigned person. And then for the admissions side of things, we have moved on me there, but we have Sarah Hampton. She will serve as your enrollment counselor. She worked with Brittany, who introduced herself earlier.
All right. So it's no wonder why University of Cumberlands is ranked together with the top universities in the US. Now, also we had the distinct honor of hosting GGU or a GTU webinar featuring Dr. Jay Gonzalez, Vice Provost for Global Affairs, Dean of GGU Worldwide, and Professor of Business, Government and Society at Golden Gate University, alongside Dr. Mick McGee, Dean of the Golden Gate University Graduate School. The webinar happened last May 25th, and they provided valuable insights into their programs, which are accessible to all, including those holding only a bachelor's degree. Here's a short clip of that evening.
Okay, we're set, right? So the most common question, palagi akong tinatanong kung, oh, Golden Gate University, are you named after the bridge? Right? So we're not, right? We're older than the Golden Gate Bridge. I always have to correct people that, but we use it as our symbol. It's a symbol of San Francisco. It's the gateway to the Silicon Valley. And that's, as Amit said, that's how we like to think of ourselves. The Silicon Valley, San Francisco Silicon Valley, is the epicenter of innovation in the planet. Many of the devices you're using today and services that you're seeing are products of the innovation, the innovativeness and the competitiveness of this region, particularly in in technology, right? iPhones. How many of you have iPhones? I'm sure people are using iPhones. These products were developed. The iPhone was developed here. Tesla cars, Intel, Cisco, Meta, or Facebook, Twitter, or X. These are companies that are, here in the Silicon Valley. So we're the gateway to these, to the thinking that developed them. Next slide, please. Most importantly, we are accredited. Here in the United States, we're not accredited. The U.S. Department of Education, unlike in the Philippines, where you have CHED or Ministries of Education, for those of you who are located in other countries, here we have what's called regional accreditation, and we're accredited by our regional accreditor, which is the same accreditor for University of California, Berkeley, for Stanford, for UCLA, for USC. So WASC is the nickname of our accreditor. We've been accredited since the 1950s. Next slide. I just described to you here, we don't have a football field, we don't have basketball courts, but we do have companies surrounding us. We are part of the urban jungle, the heavy concrete with open spaces of San Francisco. In front of GGU is Deloitte. I forgot to mention that. Beside us is EY or Ernst & Young. And the gigantic Salesforce Tower is blocking the view of Dr. Mick and and myself when we look out our window. It's the tallest building now there. Behind us is Fitbit, which is a Google company. Yes, move forward. Thank you. So here is a differentiation of the DBA and the PhD. And I'm actually going to ask Dr. Mick, who's really the founding father of this DBA online, where we now have close to 1,000 students because of our partnership with UpGrad. It's a very popular degree program. And I'd like Dr. Mick to, come in and tell us about this DBA and PhD differentiation. Dr. Mick.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. J. So, as the slide shows, the DBA program is more of a business-focused program. It's multidisciplinary, and it's looking professionals in all kinds of different domains: public service, nonprofit service, and especially in the business world, the entrepreneurship, innovation. If you're a business owner or if you're somewhere within the organization, this is a program for you. And we use applied research approach. So Dr. J talked a little bit about the history, but I want to tell you about the history and the philosophy. So the philosophy of the DBA program at Golden Gate is a strong emphasis on practitioner scholarship. So all of our faculty, and I'll give you me as an example, and Dr. J has wonderful examples as well. But you know, I'm a product of the U.S. Army and public service. I was a transportation manager in Monterey County. I was a talent manager, executive education vice president for HSBC, the bank. And then I'm also a member of a couple of nonprofit boards. So I'm an example of a mix of the different kinds of experiences that you will find in your faculty. So it's a little bit different than other kinds of universities where we're a practice base. What we teach today or tomorrow or tonight, we hope that you can apply that to your domain that day or the next evening or sometime during the week. So our program is designed similar to Harvard University's DBA program, and it's designed for part-time study for working adults. And most of us did that. So most of us have carried the book bags back when they had book bags. I'm not sure what you young folks are doing today with your laptops and your iPads, but you know, so we've gone through that experience. So you'll find faculty members and that have shared what will be your similar experience of combining you know, your heavy work schedule, your family, and now you're thinking about taking on a doctoral program. And then you like to eat and sleep as well, right? But you know, full transparency, it is a rigorous program, and we'll talk more about that, because if a doctoral program was easy, everyone would have one, and you know, only about 2% of the world's population has an advanced degree at the doctoral level. I will stop. I mean, the difference between the DBA and a PhD, there's nothing wrong with a PhD, but it's more academic focused. You're usually working with an academic advisor on a particular project, and which is great. But it's more theoretical, whereas the DBA program is much more applied research. So that's the niche that the DBA program holds. So I'll stop there and pass it back to Dr. J.
Thank you, Dr. Mick. And of course, if it's going to be practice-based, we have practitioners who are, you know, in the classroom. Dr. Mick already described to you his background. We don't hire professors who have PhDs, who have doctorates, but never taught in industry. Or they may have published a lot, books, referee journal articles, but never really, you know, practice in operations and administration or run finances for a company for a long time. So the faculty members you're getting are steeped in experience. So they're going to teach you the theory, but they're going to connect it in practice, plus whether it worked or not in their experience. So let's move on. So the university itself is a full service university, and through Upgrad we extend that to the online platform. So there's a lot of mentorship opportunities at GGU. Our graduates and our faculty are well connected to industry, so they're going to be able to mentor you on your, you know, in your career. They will connect with you instantly on LinkedIn, right? So LinkedIn is a, you know, professional connection. They're well connected there. If you are a GGU student, of course, GGU, you know, the GGU Career Services Center, where they help you come out with your resume for the international market, or you know, how do you do an interview if you're going to be interviewed by an international company like Intel or Google or Facebook. All of those services are part of the services of you know, our Career Services Center, and you will have that for life, right?
Now, to give us more information about the GGU and the University of the Cumberlands programs, let us have the dynamic, dedicated, and forward-thinking Executive Vice President of St. Robert's, Dr. John Trevor Galindez. Sir?
Thank you, Ms. Hannah. So to move forward, I'd like to proceed by saying that the clips that you saw the clips you saw from Dr. Jackson and Dr. Jarbo of the University of the Cumberlands and Dr. J and Dr. McGee from Golden Gate University were just simply highlights of the webinars we had last June. For those who are interested, in fact, our telemarketing officers are ready to release those recorded sessions for those prospects that would want to hear more about the programs mentioned by the officials from Cumberlands and Golden Gate. And of course, for the inputs and the questions asked raised during the webinars from last June. Now, to move forward, I'd like to share with you the key features of our partner university, Golden Gate University in the University of the Cumberlands, starting with the multiple modalities that we offer. So when you enroll with either of the programs, with either of the universities that we offer via here in St. Roberts, you will have three options. First is the full online, but this full online is not like the traditional full online programs you would usually see in universities, even in the United States. What's great about our full online program is that your prospects or the students or even you yourselves will have options for a face-to-face enrichment that will allow you access to multiple academic supports from the adjunct faculty or even the professors of the university. So that is actually one of the key features that allows us maximum support to our students here in St. Roberts. Furthermore, the full online program will also grant you access to an immersion after your graduation or before your graduation. What's great about that is it is customizable depending on the class or depending on the student upon enrollment and even during the course of the program. To move forward, the two very flexible modalities that we offer is the hybrid 2+2 and the 3+1. The 2+2 and the 3+1 are actually a lot very similar to each other. Difference is the 2+2 focuses on 50% online and 50% face-to-face. And the 3+1 is simply 75% online and 25% face-to-face. Now you might be wondering, why is there a specific change in terms of time frame? So the 2+2 are for those individuals that are planning to get a US degree and fulfill the academic requirement for a US visa and even establish themselves a career in the United States already, because it is a fast-track program for you to come to the United States to work or, of course, to establish yourself a career. The 3+1, on the other hand, is the perfect opportunity for you to go to the United States on a budget because you still fulfill the necessary requirements for you to graduate as a face-to-face student. And what's great about the 2+2 and the 3+1 is it allows you eligibility for the curricular practical training, again, the curricular practical training and the optional practical training. The curricular practical training and the optional practical training are the work opportunities that will be given to the students that are already in the United States. So the curricular is during the course of your program and the optional practical training is after you graduate. The great option or the best feature or an added feature about you graduating from the universities that we offered is the fact that the programs that we offer are considered STEM programs, meaning upon graduation, you will not only have 12 months to establish a career, but you will be given an additional 24 months, giving you at least 3 years of work opportunity in the United States after you graduate via the optional practical training. So again, 3 modalities, very flexible and very innovative. These are all focused actually for those who are planning to work full-time and study full-time. Perfect for those who would want to migrate to the United States. Perfect for those who would want to get a degree from an American university. Furthermore, the low residency program that you see on screen is an added feature from our partner, the University Hub. So for those who will be choosing the hybrid modality, 2+2 and 3+1, you will have an additional option to choose the low residency. The low residency program of the University Hub will allow you to choose any state in the United States despite you enrolled with the University of the Cumberlands in Kentucky. Meaning, if you have families, relatives, your spouse, for example, is in Chicago, for example, you can stay in Chicago. The only academic requirement is that you would have to have face-to-face sessions in the university for at least twice or 2 weekends during one term or in every 4 months. Meaning, all you have to do is come by the university once a term and satisfy that academic requirement, and you can go back to your chosen state. Again, maximizing on student flexibility, allowing you to work full-time and study full-time. Next, please. So, to proceed to the actual programs offered in the University of the Cumberlands, as mentioned by Dr. Jackson and Dr. Jarbo, they actually offer a lot of programs. These are not the only programs that they offer, but as mentioned, we chose these programs because of its focus on being a STEM program acknowledged by the United States that allows you the most time after graduation. So we offer here 2 bachelor degrees and 1 master's degrees. So the 2 bachelor degrees that you see on screen, the BSBA and the BSIT programs, are actually considered ladderized programs because in the first half of your bachelor programs, you will already get an associate degree in the same title as well. So for example, if you are enrolled in the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, in the first 4 terms of your program or in the first 16 months of your program, you will already receive your associate degree in business administration. Finishing the last 4 months or the last 4 terms or the last 16 months, you will also get your diploma for Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, giving you 2 academic credentials when you graduate from the bachelor programs. And moving forward, as you can see, the MBA program boasts a lot of flexibility because, as you can see on screen, they offer various majors from project management to marketing down to criminal justice administration. So when you enroll in the MBA program, you can finish actually the program in 12 months only. And what's great about that, you can choose a major that will fulfill your academic requirement or will fulfill your academic goal for yourself. So it doesn't limit you to an MBA degree alone. It allows you the most flexibility for you, for your organization, and of course for your career. So what's great about this program, and as mentioned by Dr. Jackson, is their one prize promise. So as you can see on screen, all the courses from the University of the Cumberlands are rated at 17,500 US dollars. But please do not get me wrong. This isn't a lot like other US universities that you pay upfront. With the University of the Cumberlands, they also provide flexible payment options. That's why you can see below the per term rate. So students can actually pay per term. They don't have to pay in full if they don't want to. But if they want to, they can. Okay, so they can pay the per term rate, and that will also include the initial down payment. So for example, in the bachelor programs, your down payment or the block payment to initiate your program will not be 17,500 but will only be 2,188 US dollars. The same with the MBA. So as you can see, it is actually divided per term. If you are enrolled in the bachelor's degree, your total tuition fee will be divided into 8 terms. If you're enrolled in the MBA, it will be divided into 3 terms. So to move forward, we have here Golden Gate University. So as mentioned by Dr. J. Gonzalez, one of the best features of Golden Gate University. By the way, GGU was awarded America's #1 university for adult learners. So if you go online, you would see Golden Gate University as one of those highly recognized universities in the state of California, and even recognized by the tech giants surrounding Golden Gate University, even Google. In fact, when I met Dr. J, he mentioned that Google is even renting an office space from Golden Gate University. So it will not be very hard for those graduates from GGU to find a job, especially in those tech giants are surrounding GGU. So next slide, please. So Golden Gate University, we offer the Doctor of Business Administration course. The Doctor of Business Administration course is rated at 20,000 US dollars. Again, it is still flexible. You can pay it in installment terms. It is divided into 6 terms. The program is actually only for 2 years or 24 months. So in those 24 months, you'll be provided with all the flexibility with our partner Upgrad. So what's great about the Doctor of Business Administration of GGU is its program eligibility. It allows the most flexibility and it allows the best opportunity for those personalities who would want or who would really benefit from an American diploma, no other than the GGU diploma. So as you can see, for you to be eligible, you have to have a master's degree or anything equivalent to a master's degree, or you can only be a bachelor degree holder with at least 5 years of administrative experience. Perfect for those individuals who are here right now in attendance, and even for your friends, prospects that are in the industry or that have been in the industry for a few years already, but they just simply need that one academic credential to boost them to the top. The perfect opportunity is provided by Golden Gate University, America's #1 university for adult learners. So as you can see again, it is very flexible. As mentioned, you can pay it in installment terms. So moving forward, if you get to compare the rates provided by the University of the Cumberlands and by Golden Gate University, you would see that the programs that we offer are rated very competitively because it allows you a US diploma, it allows you privileges to go to the United States and even get your US visa, and it also allows you the most flexibility and the most opportunity to gain experience and resources from the mentioned university, one of the top universities in the state of California and in the state of Kentucky. So that is an added benefit for those who are planning to enroll or for those individuals who are planning to send their friends to these amazing opportunities. Next, please. So, an additional flexible features. As mentioned, the programs, by the way, I almost forgot. In the University of the Cumberland programs, as if you remember, I mentioned an MBA program. The MBA program of the University of the Cumberlands is non-thesis. What's great about the University of the Cumberlands is they are a practice-based university. So it is non-thesis, very flexible for those individuals, especially for those individuals who have already complied their thesis from their previous master's degree. What's great about the universities that we offer is they allow transferees, and they can even credit as much as 24 units and can deduct as much as 1 term to your program. That is an added benefit and an added privilege for those who are already degree holders of the mentioned programs. So again, if you would want to get your US diploma, reinforce your academic credential, this is the opportunity for you. Again, the programs, as mentioned, these were developed to focus on those who are working full-time and studying full-time. That's why the programs are focusing on asynchronous sessions. You don't have to hurry back home to attend your classes. The programs are focused on you and your time. So you would have the most opportunity to just focus on that in your free time. Furthermore, an added academic support by St. Robert's, a once-a-term face-to-face session with an adjunct faculty or with the actual universities from the University of the Cumberlands or Golden Gate University. An added feature, as I have mentioned, the program is focused on the student, and that also includes further academic support. Just like the University of the Cumberlands, we focus on student success, maximizing graduation rates, and ensuring that the students are provided with all the necessary resources from academic to even the process of going to the United States for those who are choosing the 2+2 and the 3+1 modality. And finally, the programs that we offer are considered fast-track programs. In fact, in 1 year, you can already finish 3 terms because there is no summer. So with our bachelor program, you can finish your degree in just 32 months. In the master's program, you can finish your degree in just 12 months or 1 year. In the doctorate program, you can finish it in only 24 months or 2 years. Very fast, very quick, and of course, it allows you the most flexibility, even bringing you to the graduation in the actual campuses of Golden Gate University and the University of the Cumberlands. Next, please. Finally, to the USP of the whole program offered by St. Robert's. The programs are very prestigious, are offered by very prestigious universities accredited by regional department of the education departments. And of course, the program, by the way, when you enroll, you will be given the actual diploma received by the local students in the United States, meaning there is no mention of online and there is no mention of St. Robert's. It's just the regular diploma received by the actual students, and you are already guaranteed to be included in the alumni list. So again, a lot of opportunities for you. Of course, as mentioned earlier, very flexible. You have an option for the full online, but still with options for enrichment academic support and even an immersion. The 2+2 and the 3+1 for those who are planning or looking at the United States as an opportunity for them to fulfill their American dream, and it is budget friendly. As mentioned here, it is much lower than the top tier universities in the Philippines because you would have the opportunity to get your American degree, be educated by American professors that are, especially in Golden Gate University, they focus on the actual professors of practice that aren't just professors but actual practitioners of the field. So you will be getting the most privileges, the most opportunity in the comfort of your home. So finally, I'd like to thank everyone for their time. Again, I hope that you ask questions. I hope that you ask questions. And again, as mentioned, for those who would want to review the recorded webinar sessions with our hosted by our partner Golden Gate University in the University of the Cumberlands, you can just contact our telemarketing team so they can provide you the link. Thank you so much, everyone, and please have a great evening. Thank you.
A great overview of the highlights and the value and benefits provided by the university. Now, without further ado, let us have the president of Global EduLink, which is powered by St. Robert's Global Education, SRIU. He will provide inputs on the marketing opportunities available to everyone. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Robert Galindez.
Thank you, Ms. Sena. And I'd like to welcome everyone to our second webinar. Thank you for your time. This is the mandate given to me by Dr. Jerry, if you remember, when you were present last time during the webinar conducted by the Chancellor himself, Dr. Jerry Jackson, and the rest of his team. He was telling me several times that I should conduct a second webinar specifically to deal with the issues, with the details, and of course, the financial packets. I have all the details. That's why I requested everyone to be around to join me in the second webinar. And of course, in tonight's webinar, because we are trying to be transparent, we invited not only the prospective marketing persons, but even the students, the prospective students. So we do not want to hide anything. After all, everything that I will be saying, you can find this in the web page of the University of the Cumberlands. Okay? So let me start. The first slide actually that you are seeing is the most popular scene in the university. It's a huge campus actually, but this is the most popular picture that normally they get to include whenever they get to present the university. So this is just one of the many campuses in Kentucky, and this is the most popular. As I've said, the most popular. You can always see this in the videos about the university. Well, earlier, Miss Hena was mentioning about the two videos. I will no longer be requesting the technical person to play it. My recommendation, of course, is for you to visit the website of the university, and there are a lot of videos there. And of course, there are a lot of informations that you will know about the university. I have never been to the campus. My only advantage probably is I have a direct link to the officials of the university. And I suppose the chancellor made it clear that there is so much responsibility that is given to me and, of course, to Global Education Link the new company or the company under St. Roberts that gets to handle UniHub, and UniHub has more than 100 universities in affiliation. But I do not want to be dealing with more than 100 affiliations. I simply have chosen 10 top universities in the US, and this is the third university that we are introducing to our prospective students. The first one, of course, is Golden Gate University, and given the courses of Golden Gate University, I have chosen the doctoral program to be offered by them. Golden Gate University, of course, is in the heart of San Francisco in the Silicon Valley. And then the second one that we introduced, in fact, their officials visited Iloilo City and even Manila and Bangkok for their own roadshow. That's St. Francis College in the heart of New York. And this is the third one, the University of the Cumberlands. Okay, so let me show you the rest of the information. Next slide, please. The first thing that I'd like to tell you about the university is its unique selling proposition. When we do marketing, there is always a brand that we are trying to sell. And the unique selling proposition is something that will appeal to our Asian prospective students. It is the price. Um, Later on, when I get to present to you the price package of the university, I will be telling you that comparatively with the two other universities, it's not even one-fourth of what they are offering their courses. Between 40 to 50,000, but what the university, you will realize later on, is really offering it at a very cheap price and really true to their promise of an affordable program, quality, flexible program for all. So that's the unique selling proposition, something that will get to appeal not only to the Filipinos, but to most Asians. This is a US degree, very, very flexible. You can continue working full time and study full time because this is online. And of course, the most important is its affordability. Next, please. The reason why I will be sharing to you everything, the rest of the details of what was shared by Dr. Jerry last time, actually, what was shared by Dr. Jerry are things that we've been discussing a long time ago. But I insisted that DBT wants to share with you because that really will create legitimacy insofar as the presentation of their program. I would want that it's the chancellor himself, even the vice president, and then the rest of the team that actually shared information about the university. When I get to share with you this information, there is actually an opportunity to earn. It's good to be helping, just like a social entrepreneur. We wanted to help, but in the process of helping, we will be able to earn. And you do that by simply sharing the good news. Whatever informations you have heard from Dr. Jerry and from myself tonight, all you have to do is share the good news to your own network. You don't need to get out of your own shell. If you are working in this particular industry and you think there are prospective students and people probably who, like you, would love the information or the good news, then simply share it to them. And there is nothing more that we be expecting from you. All you have to do is refer them to us. There's a regular virtual program presentation that will get to happen. If they get to enroll, they will be credited to your account. So the opportunity to earn is simply keeping tab of the people in your own network and simply sharing the good news. If you find my informations and the informations of Dr. Jerry as good news, then simply share. If it's a good news, we cannot help but share it with other people. Next, please. In the information that was given by Dr. Jerry, I would like to emphasize that St. Roberts is able to connect with the 10 out of the 100 universities is because of our affiliation with UniHub. The guy who was introduced, but there was some technical glitch because he was at in Hyderabad at the time in India. Mr. Praveen. Mr. Praveen actually have visited me in Iloilo, and I met with him twice in Manila, and I had virtual meetings with the chairman of the board, Mr. Palya. They're very, very good, and that's the reason why I agreed to partner with them. And from among the universities that they get to handle, I have chosen 10. As I have mentioned, this is the third university. And the entity of St. Roberts that actually is in under a MOA, Memorandum of Agreement with UniHub, is SRIC in Iloilo City. Of course, SRIC, to some of you, you know, is a member of the group of companies of St. Roberts. In Bangkok, of course, it will be SRJED in Bangkok, Mind Motion in Doha, which will be our headquarters in the Middle East. And of course, in UAE, I am actually thinking about the two partner companies in UAE. By next week, I'll be able to finalize with the two companies as to which actually gets to handle the partnership in that part of the Middle East. So there you are. St. Roberts is in various countries, and in each country we have a St. Robert company legitimately operating, which is also under an affiliation with the UniHub or the University Hub. Now, in this particular orientation or webinar, I would like to emphasize on three things: that the program that the University of the Cumberlands that is offering is very, very prestigious. You will check on their website the accreditations that they have, the recognitions that they get. And so um, we can compare it with the top universities that we have in the Philippines, or probably even better. Um, Considering our own colonial mentality, we always sometimes have that impression that foreign universities, although not all, are actually superior. Several months ago, I am in CHED. I was in CHED, and the commissioners are emphasizing that they are advocating for professors in state universities to earn degrees abroad. And that probably gives everyone the impression that education has to be borderless. Education has to get out, has to be out of the country. It's the, well, in the words of the current chair, if you graduated in the Philippines through and through, then that's inbreeding. That's according to Dr. Popoy. But of course, some university presidents are saying it's very difficult to be getting degrees from abroad because of the cost. That's why the entrance of the university hubs, affiliate universities in the Philippines, will allow Filipinos who are wanting to get degrees from abroad to be able to actually get it, because it is right here, and St. Roberts and you will be propagating that information. The accreditation, of course, in the US, the accreditation is not national, it is actually regional. And so later we will show you the accreditation of the university, and then also the courses offered and additional informations that might help you convince yourselves that this indeed is a very good university to offer their courses. Next, please. They actually have more than 40 courses and offered by various departments, from applied sciences to the arts, undergraduate, graduate, and even executive programs. But as mentioned by Dr. Cherry, he wanted me to offer the few ones that are actually demanded But in the event there are students who would want to enroll in other courses, then they are willing to offer it, except for courses that will really require, say, laboratories or immersions in the US. And so, for the record, what was approved only are the two bachelor's program, including their associate courses, the one in IT and the one in business, and of course, our MBA with various majors. MBA with around 18 majors that goes with it. So that's the course offerings of the university. Next, please. Let's take a look at the requirements. You probably have heard Dr. Jerry always saying at the time that Dr. Bob and his team will take care of that, meaning they are very flexible in terms of the requirements. The basic requirements only is if you're going to take a bachelor's degree in the university, you've got to be a high school graduate, senior high school. In fact, even the British curriculum, which is less or lesser by 1 year or by 2 years in their curriculum, they are actually being admitted by the university for the bachelor's program. For those who are enrolling in the master's program, they've got to be graduates of the bachelor's course. And for those enrolling in the doctoral, they've got to be masteral degree holder. So you have these records. Of course, these records has to be authenticated. If you are graduates of state universities, they can provide you with their authentication already. If you are graduates of private universities, then CHED has to authenticate. If they are graduates of foreign universities, their embassies can authenticate. If their records are not written in English, then they need to be translated and just authenticated. Okay? Now, those records has to be submitted, of course, in soft copy, initially forwarded, uploaded to the portal of the university, and eventually the hard copies, the original copies has to be submitted. Okay? We will just advise as to when and how, but it should first go to us, and then by bulk, we will be sending them to the university. When you have these records as proof that you are eligible and you get to fill up the registration forms that we will be sending you, all these informations we shall encode in the university portal. We will upload your basic data in soft copies, and then we will encode the informations that we gather from the registration form. We will be helping you. We will have people to help you encode. And the moment it's encoded and complete submissions, then you get to receive an acceptance letter from the university. We are simply helping you in your application, and we are not the ones, or St. Robert's, not even UniHub, is not going to accept you. It's the university who will accept you. Okay? And then after that, the university will have advisories already as to when you are supposed to be paying, how much you're supposed to be paying, and the depository bank. Okay? And then of course, um, um, in my discussion with Mr. Praveen, I asked him to provide informations for the installment plan. Well, of course, installment would mean payable in 2 months because the term is completed in 2 months only. So, like the full program, for example, in 8 terms, so the one term further divided into two because you're supposed to complete or comply fully pay the term in 2 months. Okay? Now, after that, the rest of the academics, of course, will come in. And we will be helping you. Our advantage as a partner is that we are not an ordinary partner of UniHub and Cumberland. That's the reason why you notice that there is a very special treatment and arrangement that goes with us because we are an educational institution. The other partners are simply marketing people and marketing companies. And so with us, we are given a lot of responsibilities, more than the marketing partners, because we are capable of doing it. Like, we have telemarketing, we have client care to help our students. Of course, we have support in terms of providing like research, for example, classroom, and of course shadow teachers, and so on and so forth. That is something that is appreciated actually by Dr. Jerry. Okay, next please. Let's take a look at the curriculum. The bachelor's program is 120 credits in 8 terms, meaning every term you're supposed to enroll in 5 subjects or 15 units. Okay? So in 2 months' time, because there is no specific schedule, it's asynchronous. Anytime that you are free, you can just access your lessons. You are given, if you are enrolled in the bachelor's or associate, you have 5 subjects per term. For the well, associate, of course, is 60 units. Masters is 31 if it's just the generic MBA, or 37 if you have the specialization. Anyway, you get to finish it in 3 terms, and therefore you get to enroll at least 12 units per term. Okay? So 12 units, and your third term, because there is a capstone, you have 13 units actually on your third term. The masteral program is non-thesis, but there is only a capstone. It's a simple research project actually. The university is not a research university. They are more of practice university, and therefore they would want you to really put into practice what you have learned in the classroom. And therefore, they want a capstone. They don't want a thesis. Okay? So the classes will be for 2 months or 8 weeks, and it is asynchronous. The load, of course, as mentioned, is 5 subjects for the BS and associate, 4 subjects for the masteral, and then there is the instructional support. We will still be learning how we can assist you so that you'll be able to get support from the university for the so-called 24 by 7 tutorial by the university, but St. Robert's has other support, like the face-to-face classroom, shadow teachers, research support, and so on and so forth. Okay? So that's how we would like to assure the students that they get to really learn when they acquire the diploma of the university. They are as skillful as everybody else is expected, and they are ready to get to work in the US or anywhere in the world. Next, please. Let's take a look at the academic calendar. Um, Similar to us, it's trimestral. First and second, and then summer is considered a third trimester. For them, they call it the fall. The first semester for us is fall, that is September, October, November, and December. Second semester is spring, that's January, February, March, and April. And summer is May and June, July, and August. And as mentioned earlier, instead of 4 months, you can actually get to finish your subjects enrolled in 2 months every 4 months. So you have a choice of starting it on A, like fall, spring, summer A, or fall, spring, summer B on the second half of the 4 month term. So, like if you start now on summer B, you will have a break of 2 months because you will be enrolling in fall B also and spring B. Okay? And by spring B, you get to finish already the program if you're enrolled in the masteral. And by summer B, you get to finish your associate already for the bachelor's, and you are ready to go if you wanted to already go to the US and probably continue studying while working in the US. So again, the schedule is 2 months, 8 weeks per schedule. Instructional modality is full online with immersion and optional work. If you remember the question of JT, to Dr. Jerry, as to whether there is an opportunity for our students, our graduates who are into 2+2 or 3+1 to work. And the answer is yes, and they will be assisted. In fact, for countries that are having difficulty getting a visa to the US, the suggestion really is for them to finish at least the associate, or finish at least 50% or 75% of the program, or finish the entire and simply apply for an immersion. Immersion will entitle you to a student visa, and you will have the opportunity, of course, to work already in the US. What Dr. Jerry was saying is, for example, you finish your master's full online, you requested for a 2 weeks to 3 month immersion in the US, but you like it there because you're working already. All you have to do is enroll in the doctoral program, and you continue to stay and work in the US. Okay? So I mentioned about 2+2 and 3+1. So there are three modalities actually. You can finish your course on a full online, all the 8 terms, all the 4 terms, all the 3 terms, you finish while you are working full time or staying in the Philippines or in the country of your residence. Or it can be 2+2, 50%, 4 terms out of 8 terms, 2 terms out of 4 terms, or 1 term out of 3 terms in the Philippines or outside of the US, and then the remaining 50% you finish that or complete in the US, of course, in the University of the Cumberlands. The other one is 3+1. 75% of the curriculum you have to finish in the Philippines or in the country of your residence, and 25% in the US. So very, very flexible. You can have 4.0, they call it, full online, or 2+2, or 3+1. Okay? Next, please. There are some few questions that you would want answered, for example, like, is the price of the 2+2 or 3+1 the same with the 4.0 arrangement? There is not much difference actually. Okay? There is not much difference, especially if you are going into a low residency. The low residency would mean you can stay anywhere in the US. It need not be in Kentucky. You probably would want to stay with your family. You can work in that particular state, and you just go to the university certain schedules during the term for you to be able to satisfy the in-campus attendance. But the rest of the classes, it will be online. Okay, the university fee, even if there is a dormitory fee, is still very, very cheap. More so, if you remove the dormitory fee, it will be very, very cheap also. Something that is close to the price of an online program. So there is not much difference, especially so that you will still be allowed to work on a low residency arrangement. So the in-campus price will already differ from online, as I've mentioned, but it's not really very far from the online price. But the advantage, of course, is you will be able to work in the US, and you'll be able to live already your American dream. Is there a comprehensive exams for master's and the doctorate? The answer is yes. But again, the good news is it will still be online. Okay, so you take your comprehensive examinations online, and sometimes you become more comfortable if you are taking it online than taking it face to face. Some same course or major is not required towards a master's or doctorate. It's only in the Philippines that if you want to take business and you are a non-business graduate, you are required to have a foundation course. In the US, you may be an education graduate and you want to take law for your master's, you are allowed. That is actually your choice. That is your responsibility to cope up with the academic requirements of the course that you have chosen. So you take MBA, you are not a business graduate, you are eligible. Okay? Or you take the specialization, even if it's not within your field, you are allowed to do that. Okay, so there is no foundation course and you are allowed to choose a particular masteral program, even if it's not within your field of specialization. If you are a non-thesis graduate in your master's, are you eligible in the doctoral? Non-thesis, capstone, and of course with thesis are all eligible to enroll in the doctoral program. But we are not offering the doctoral program of the Cumberlands. Okay? Because I saw that the price of the Cumberlands is more expensive as compared to the other universities. And so I told them, I'm not going to sell your doctoral program. I will be choosing another university for the doctoral program because it is a lot flexible and a lot cheaper. Okay? Example of flexibility, you need not be a masteral degree holder for you to enroll in the doctoral program. The only requirement is for as long as you have 5 years of executive supervisory experience, bachelor's plus 5 years, you are eligible to enroll in the doctoral program, regardless of the discipline that you finished in the bachelor's. That's about the doctoral program. Okay? So I do not want to dwell on that particular information. Transfer credit is allowed on a case-to-case basis. You have your master's already, you wanted to take another master's with Cumberland, they will evaluate, not us, and they will tell you if there are subjects that will be credited. I had a very nice discussion with our educational system and Dr. Jerry, and he said, I do not see any problem in the transfer credits because you are using the American system. For one, we are graduates of K to 12, or our program in the high school is K to 12, and we have bachelor's 4 years, we have master's at least 36 units, and therefore this can really be there is a good reason for the university to credit. But again, please do not show us your records and request us to evaluate because we are not in a position to do that. The language requirement is to be complied within the program. There are a lot of universities already under UniHub that would allow the Filipinos to enroll, make them eligible to enroll in any programs in the US without the language requirement because English is already our second language. But in the event that, like of course, non-English speaking countries, in the event that they will be required, it is not right away a requirement prior to enrollment. Our arrangement with Dr. Jerry is like for the Thai students, for example, they will be allowed to enroll. That's why we have shadow teachers to assist them. But side by side with their enrollment with the university, we will give them um, a language program, an intensive language program. And hopefully, when they finish the bachelor's or the associate, they are ready to take the examinations and they be able to satisfy the language requirement. So it can be complied within the enrollment period. Now, there is a GPA requirement actually. And of course, sometimes we are not that serious when we studied in college or in our masters, for example. That is not going to be a problem. There will be additional requirements only that they will ask of you so that the low GPA can be offsetted. Like for example, there is another portfolio that will have to be asked from you just to satisfy the GPA requirement. Now, this is very important, the graduation documents that you will be receiving. Definitely the TOR and diploma of in-campus students will be the same TOR and diploma that online students will be receiving. Dr. Jerry had assured me that there is no difference. This is the same diploma that everybody online and in-campus gets to receive, and the same TOR as well. Also, there is no mention of online in the documents because sometimes an online program is actually included in the documents. In the case of Cumberland, there is no mention of online. So sometimes employers or government agencies would downgrade a particular graduation document because of the online thing. In the case of Cumberlands, there's no mention of online. And the most important is every graduate of Cumberlands, in campus or online, they are made part of the alumni list. There are a lot of graduates of foreign universities that sometimes when they get to check their names in the alumni lists, they are not included because they are online students. So Dr. Jerry assured me that online students and in-campus students are both included in the alumni lists. Okay, I I insisted on getting a categorical answer there because I know of one person in the Visayas who applied for a presidency in a state university who was disqualified because when they finally checked in the alumni list, the name actually cannot be found.